How's it going, people? For those who don't know, the current venture season ends on April 5th, which is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. So for today's video, we're going to go over some tips in regards to the new venture zone, which is Scurvy Shoals. And I'm also going to show the best loadouts you can use for both Scurvy Shoals and dungeons, which is also going to be returning tomorrow. Before we get into it, there was one thing I wanted to mention, and that is Miss Bunny Penny is currently available in the event store. And big shout out to Jake for gifting her to me. But yeah, she's going to cost 800 V-Bucks. And it doesn't look like she came with the back bling or any other accessory. So you're only going to get the skin with her. But yeah, just wanted to give you a heads up. She is currently available in the BR shop. Also, if you plan on getting her, don't forget to use creator code A1 if you'd like to support the channel. Here's what her back bling looks like in Save the World. I'm not exactly sure why they didn't include it with the one in the BR shop. But yeah, just wanted to give y'all a heads up that she is currently available and she costs 800 V-Bucks. Another thing I wanted to mention is that I believe the Yard quest line is going to be returning on April 5th as well. And that's the one that gives Blake Beard as a reward. I would strongly recommend that you get him because not only will you get him, but you'll also get Blake Beard's stash, which is one of the best team perks to use when it comes to ventures. It's also a good team perk to use for Hit the Road as well. And this is the only way you can get the team perk, is by getting Blake Beard. So you may want to complete that quest line when it returns. Like I said, Dungeons is also going to be returning on April 5th. So I also want to show some loadouts you can use for Dungeons. One of the best loadouts you can use is one with the Commando Soldier as your commander. If you don't have Sub Commando Jonesy, you can also use Commando Spitfire, because they have the same perks. The reason these are really good is because they destroy the monoliths very quickly. And they're also really good when it comes to killing the final boss in Dungeons. With this loadout, you're also going to use Happy Holidays. For our support team, we have Birthday Ramirez. If you don't have her, you can use Sergeant Jonesy. We also have Ted, Birthday Jonesy. If you don't have him, you can just use Survivalist Jonesy. We also have Diecast Jonesy and Fleetfoot Ken. He's going to help us run through the dungeons a little bit faster. If you want, you could replace Ramirez with the Archetype if you want to increase your movement speed. But yeah, this is definitely one of the best loadouts when it comes to dungeons. You may also want to have at least one person in your party using Diecast Jonesy. And basically we put Sub Commando Jonesy in the support team. Everything else is the same. The reason you want one person using Diecast is because he also has War Cry, which is going to increase everybody's damage. And that's going to help you kill the final boss quicker. He also has a minigun that's really good for destroying monoliths. So yeah, you may want to have one person using this loadout if you plan on speed running dungeons. Another good hero you can use for dungeons is Carbide, and the reason I would recommend him is because his lefty and righty is really good for destroying monoliths. He's also really good when it comes to killing the final boss, especially on Grotto with the 4 blaster mini bosses. If you can trap them all in a room and then use his lefty and righty, you can pretty much kill them really quickly. He's also really good when it comes to destroying urns, because his lefty and righty pretty much destroys everything. The only thing I'll say about Carbide is you may want to avoid using him on the lab, because his lefty and righty will destroy those taker tubes, and that's going to cause a lot of miss monsters to spawn in. So you may want to avoid using him on labs, but he's pretty good when it comes to all of the other dungeons. With Carbide, we also use Happy Holidays. And for our support team, we have Archetype Havoc, Noir, Birthday Jonesy or Survivalist Jonesy, Extraterrestrial Rio, and Azalea Clark. Now this next one I would only recommend if you plan on speed running dungeons with a full lobby. It's not really a good solo dungeon loadout, but it is really good if you're trying to speed run dungeons with a full party. With this loadout, you basically just want to speed run to the next checkpoint and try to open the door right away while your teammates destroy the monoliths. But yeah, for this one we have Recon Scout Jess as our commander with the Blast from the Past team perk. And for our support team we have Fossil Southie, Prehistoric Isa, Flash AC, Face Scout Jess, and Fleetfoot Ken. And the last dungeon loadout that I'm going to recommend is the one where we have Swamp Knight as our commander. And the reason we're using him is because he also has miniguns, so he can destroy monoliths, and he also deals increased damage versus miss monsters. For our team perk, we're going to use Trick and Treat, and this is going to help us conjure extra phantasms, and it's also going to help us heal ourselves, so we don't need Birthday Jonesy. For our support team, we have Diecast Jonesy, Willow, Ghoul Trooper Ramirez, Ted, and Sub Commando Jonesy. And the reason we chose these is to increase the damage of our minigun. So yeah, this is another good loadout you could use for dungeons. One thing I should mention, these aren't the only loadouts you could use. These are just some of the more popular ones. Anyways, last thing I want to go over is the Scurvy Shoals Venture Zone. And again, it should become available on April 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern. This is the one that has the Bounty Husk modifier. In last year's home base status report, it said that things would get quite turbulent with the new Bounty Husk modifier. With this modifier, Huskies, and Mist Monsters all have increased health, but they are more susceptible to knockbacks, especially from ranged and melee weapons. So Huskies, and Mist Monsters are all going to have increased health, but you should be able to knock them around a little bit easier, especially with high impact weapons. And the hydraulic weapon set has some of the highest impact compared to other weapon sets. So yeah, you may want to keep an eye out for those in the vending machines. Obviously, you're going to want to keep an eye out for the Xenon bow as well. There's also a super treasure modifier, and the description that came with this says, time to start looting like a real pirate. With the super treasure modifier, treasure chests filled with valuable loot will periodically drop after defeating enemies. Keep in mind, commanders, the tougher the enemy you defeat, the more likely a chest will drop from it. Great enemies mean great rewards. It looks very similar to the Blakebeard stash treasure chest. It can drop crafting ingredients as well as materials. The main thing I wanted to point out though is that it can also drop weapons. So not only can you get weapons from vending machines and Scurvy Shoals, but you can also get weapons from the super treasure chest. Storm chests are another good way to get weapons as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to the modifiers. I'm going to go ahead and show some loadouts you can use for ventures. Now, when you first start off, obviously you don't have any weapons or any materials. So for the first couple of missions, you may want to use Fossil Southie. For our team perk, we're going to use Blast from the Past. For our support team, we have Archaeologist, Triceratops Ramirez, Clip, Paleo Luna, and Crossbones Variant. And yeah, usually I use this whenever I'm low on materials or when I'm first starting out in ventures. Another really good loadout you can use when you're first starting out is the Dragon Scourge loadout. The reason I recommend using this one is because you'll still be able to kill a lot of Husk even without weapons. All you have to do is just spam his Dragon Slash. And if you use him with the Blakebeard Stash team perk, you can also get Peg Legs to drop from those stashes. So that'll give you a decent power level melee weapon you can use early on in ventures. For our support team, we have Willow, Blakebeard, which again, he'll be available in the Yard quest line when it returns on April 5th. We also have Snuggle Specialist Sarah, Privateer Hype, and Crossbones Barrett. If you're able to get a Xenon bow from the vending machine, I would also recommend that you use Stoneheart Farah because she's one of the best bow heroes in Save the World. For our team perk, we're going to be using Blakebeard Stash. For our support team, we have Rabbit Raider Jonesy, Redline Ramirez, Crossbones Barrett, Blakebeard, and Privateer Hype. Another loadout I would recommend is the Teddy loadout. So for your commander, you can use either Jingle Jess or Metal Team Leader if you have her, because they allow your Teddy to last longer and get more kills. For our team perk, we're going to use Happy Holidays, so we can use our Teddy more often. And for our support team, we have Ventura Ramirez, Trailblazer Quinn, Gumshoe, Stare Down Southie, and Jilly Teacup. And the reason I like using this one is because all you have to do is just spam your Teddy. As soon as it runs out, you have to wait a couple seconds, and then you can throw down another Teddy. So even if you don't have good weapons, you'll still be able to deal a lot of damage that way. Obviously, there's a lot of other loadouts you could use for Scurvy Shoals, but those are some of the more popular ones, and those are the ones I would recommend trying out. The best way to get XP as quickly as possible in ventures is you want to complete every type of mission that gives an XP bonus. Once you complete that mission, you can go ahead and move on to the next one. You don't really want to do those missions multiple times though, because they only give the XP bonus once. Doing 4-player missions give even more XP than regular missions. Obviously, you're only going to get that bonus XP once, but as for the XP you get from the mission itself, that gives twice the amount of XP that regular missions do. And another thing you can do is increase the difficulty of the missions for the ones that allow it, because that'll also increase the amount of XP you get from it. Basically, my approach is do all of the missions once, and then once you've completed all of those and gotten the bonus XP from them, you can go ahead and start farming the 4-player missions. and you're going to want to increase the difficulty whenever possible. So that's how you level up quickly in Ventures. Last thing I want to go over are the Venture Zone rewards, and I'm only going to go over the major rewards. I will leave a link to this image in the description if you want to go check it out. At level 5 and 10, we get Troll Stash Llamas. At level 13, you'll get the Weapon Research voucher. At 17, you'll get a Core perk. At level 20, you get a Hero Recruitment voucher. At level 25, you get a Survivor Supercharger. At 28, you get a Trap Supercharger. At 31, you get 2 Survivor Superchargers. At Venture level 34, you get a Hero Supercharger. At 37, you get 3 Survivor Superchargers. At level 40, you'll get a Weapon Supercharger. At 42, you get 4 Survivor Superchargers. At level 44, you get a Hero Supercharger. At 46, you get 5 Survivor Superchargers. Level 48 is a Trap Supercharger. 49 is a Hero Supercharger. And level 50 is a Weapon Supercharger. Keep in mind, you also get Superchargers from the Venture Challenge quest as well. But that sums up everything we're going to go over for this one. If you enjoyed the video or found it useful, don't forget to drop a like. I hope y'all have an amazing day, and thanks for watching.